My name is Marlena Collinson Purcell, and I am the community school manager, program manager at Woodside Elementary School. This is Woodside's second year. However, it is my first year as the community school program manager. I share this opportunity today with my principal, Ms. Lori Barnes, who is online, and we will collaborate with the presentation today. I want to first just start off by indicating that we are the Woodside Elementary School, which we have recently hosted our governor and our county exec along with our superintendent. And so I hope that you have, if not, after today, we'll be able to go back and view our pictures for that wonderful day that we hosted. Our vision at Woodside Elementary School is a place where we provide safe and positive environment where all members of the Woodside community feel valued, respected, supported, and encouraged in order to achieve their very best every day. With that vision, I hope to show you through our slides today how we are impacting our families and our communities with our vision. So the first up is we're going to go from left to right with our academic enrichment and attendance, and that would be expounded upon by our very own principal, Ms. Barnes.
Good morning, everyone. The piece that we're really proud of here at Woodside for the academic enrichment and attendance is our attendance. Our attendance has really improved this year. We are up by 12.5%. So last year we had 32.84% of our students who were chronically absent, and this year we're down to 20.36%. And of that data set, the student group that we have really focused on is our special ed students. So we had 47.14% of them were chronically absent last year, and now we are down to 23%, which is really exciting because that was our focus area group. And a lot of that work was just really educating and communicating with families on a regular basis. We have an attendance committee that meets once a month, and I'm sure like many of you, it's the program manager, the secretary, we have our assistant principal on it. But as a community school, we're fortunate enough to have our full-time school nurse, and she has been an integral part of that work, communicating, especially with our special education students who have various health needs, and not only educating the families on how we can support them here at school, but getting them in touch with other healthcare needs outside of the school has been really, really helpful. And we have a great PPW who has done home visits with Marlena and visiting parents. So that's been our major way that we've increased attendance. And then also just some like really unique things, including an alarm clock for a family who was hard of hearing. Marlena worked really hard on specific families that were really struggling with attendance. So a lot of communication. And then we also had a number of our students who have anxiety, and again, working with the school nurse on that has been really helpful because she's full-time and has a great knowledge base of how to support those families.
All right, next we have our next pillar, which is our social, emotional, and behavior health. And on the screen, I'm just going to elaborate a couple of things that maybe didn't quite make it. It says 16, and let me break that down for you. So at Woodside, we have a variety of clubs that existed already. And that was, of course, we had our co-curricular programming infused. So there were 6 co-curricular programs. And then from there, we had 7 community schools. And we also had 2 grants that we applied for from ESSA funds. And we were able to make sure those grants were also extended day learning opportunities for our students. However, we found, as I got there, I surveyed the kids and I started talking, and we found that the need was we needed to shift, and that was based off of our students' voices. And that, as a result, brought on our 2 basketball clubs, which are girls and boys. And then it also brought on what we found was a sign language club because the students wanted it. And from our needs assessment, a Spanish club. So again, we heard their voices matter, and we were able to provide those opportunities to our students. Specifically as a highlight in our extended day programming was that we were able to, for the first time in Anne Arundel County's history that I am aware of, we was able to visit the CIAA, where our students and our parents were able to see in live motion the college students play basketball. It was a thrill. Some of them have never been on a bus, never been to Baltimore City, but more importantly, they were interacting with college students. And we had plenty of accolades, whether we were on the big screen or whether we received Mr. Alvarez, the advisor, was on the basketball court and he won. And so the kids were the highlight of that day. Moving on, we will have our next slide presented by Ms. Barnes. We'll try to.
All right. So the next goal we had was our physical health for our students. And this was a need that our parents had asked for in a lot of our surveys and just really talking to them. So as Marlena had brought Wellness Wednesdays to Woodside. That's a lot of W's. She started really off with the ride, bike, and roll to school, which 40 parents, we also asked parents to come and drop them off that day, so that encouraged the kids to actually do it. So we had 40 families participate in that. We had about double the bikes and the bike lockup over there, and just a lot of kids were really excited. And there were some extra incentives and things that kids could win if they walked and biked to school. And then after that, every Wednesday was something special, and it was themed by month. So there was strength training, there was workout Wednesdays, there was January healthy eating, and there was morning announcements, things in the lunchroom. There was really fun dancing and music. And so it was just kind of we tried to infuse it with the culture of Woodside so that it would be long lasting. And then we braided our efforts with the Title I team in a fitness and foundations evening. So students who were receiving foundations instruction, the teachers came out and taught the families how they could use those instructional strategies at home with their children. And then we had a yoga event that was led by me, who I'm not a yoga teacher, but it was in an effort to continue that idea that everyone can do fitness, everybody can have fun exercising. You don't have to be professional at these things. It's just about enjoying it. And we did have a lot of I would say all parents participated. They were doing bridges and downward dog. And it was really just to have fun. A lot of our parents' survey was about exercising and having fun with each other. So we tried to keep it pretty lighthearted. And I think that's all. Thanks, Marlena.
No worries. And I invite everyone back to see Ms. Barnes do yoga. I'll do the next one. That would be Zumba. Nonetheless, the last one I want to speak on is one of my hearts and one of my passions, which is our 2+ generation. This year, I recognize that in order for us to grow, we had pre-K 3 in our building for the first time, and there are 19 students in that class. That class is the teacher there is a first-year pre-K 3 teacher, right? But nonetheless, that class is a highlight. Every time you see the littles in our buildings, you just want to just hug them. And I recognize that because of that, we need to reach out into our communities and make sure that our families know that our pre-K 3 exists, and how that happens is to make sure they know the dates and make sure that they apply. So just recently on Tuesday, we were able to hold I call it a marathon from 12 to 7:30. We opened our buildings and we helped with the pre-K applications. With the help of our bilingual facilitator and the Fluency Office, we were able to have 29 applications submitted in 7 hours. So I'm very happy about that. A little sleepy, but nonetheless, I'm very happy about that. With that being said, we also started something that is very new at Woodside called Woodside Junior Pop-Ups. And that was, again, a nice passion of mine. We wanted to make sure that our children from 0 to 5 was able to come in and have a social hour. So it's very similar to the library. We're just bringing them in our building. And with that said, we collaborated with the Glen Burnie Library, and Miss Julie was able to come over. Our next one I invite you all to is next month, Wednesday, the first Wednesday. And that is going to be our yoga with Julie, the Glen Burnie Library. I also want to just make a small contribution to our police department, our Glen Burnie Police Department. When we have these pop-ups, they are aware of them, and sometimes they're able to provide our giveaways. One of our giveaways that they provided was our hats and our gloves. And so I just want to give a little small shout out to our Glen Burnie Police Department, who also come in during their time to do our read alouds to our pre-K students. I see Ms. Pugh pop on the screen, so I'm going to wrap this up by saying we invite each and every one of you to Woodside. Why not? Because we are the Woodside Chucks.